Yo, what is going on, guys? In today's video, we're going to be jumping into some Abyss of Legends to do some testing with the Odin synergy. So I've been seeing a ton of videos, pretty cool stuff with Ghost and Angela and Hela, all this crazy stuff. And then MSD hit me up and he's like, dude, you got to test Red Goblin with Odin buffs because Red Goblin, he gains more incinerate damage based on his heavies and special attacks for the amount of buffs that he has. So I was like, he's like, MSD was saying I could get like 20 Incinerates or something. I'm like, dude, no. We only have 5 and 6 star Odin. We can't get that crazy with it. But I'm like, hey, I can test it with just the 5 and 6 star. That's 6 buffs. So every single heavy attack you see, I'm applying 6 Incinerates, which is pretty crazy. So big shout out to MSD for this idea. This dude, he's a big fan of Red Goblin. He has a lot of cool videos on him. So a link to MSD's channel will be in the description below. He's a really awesome dude, very, very skilled player. He's a fellow champion of NYCC. You guys should definitely check him out. I'm sure you've heard of him. Go check out his channel. Tell him Legacy sent you. But yeah, so we're going to be jumping into Abyss here. So we got all 6 of the Odin buffs. 2 of them are aptitudes, which are actually going to help us increase our damage output. They'll just make our Furies more potent. And then the other 2 don't really matter too much. We got 2 protection buffs, which, I mean, if we get hit, it'll matter. But you don't want to get hit. And then the shock resist, again, doesn't really matter. But if we happen to accidentally take an L1 to the face and we get a shock debuff on us, we'll actually heal from willpower. So that is nice. But yeah, it's really just the sheer amount of buffs that helps because we're getting all those Incinerates. You can see the Incinerates are ticking for 3,000 right now, which is pretty solid. And so with that Fury buff, we're also applying an armor break debuff on each heavy attack, which is important because otherwise Iron Man Infinity would be stealing our power every 10 hits with those tech charges. But as long as he's armor broken, that counter doesn't increase, so we're all good. So what I want to do here is go to my special 3, use the special 3 after using a heavy attack. This way we're going to gain 2 aptitude buffs. And then we're going to have 4 total, 2 from Odin, 2 from Red Goblin's natural abilities. And then the next Fury that we get, it's going to be a very, very potent buff. So that's the plan right now. And the special 3 also applies some random effects. So here we got some power drain, which is cool. I mean, yeah, it's actually pretty nice. Just baiting specials on this guy. It's kind of annoying. It creates a big gap between the 2 of you. So yeah, as you can see now, we do have 4 of those aptitude buffs, and my Fury buffs at this point are gone my armor breaks are gone because we don't have a Fury buff anymore. So here I get to 6 aptitudes, and then I go for another special, and I get a Fury buff. Now, I thought I was supposed to get 2 Fury buffs there, but we only got 1. But this 1 Fury buff is extremely potent after having 6 of those aptitudes up. So this 1 Fury buff, man, has increased my attack rating by quite a bit. I think now I want to go for an L3 to get more Fury. I think that's what I'm going to do. But yeah, as you can see, those Incinerates are ticking for 5,900 now, which is pretty nice. That's pretty crazy, man. That's a lot of Incinerate damage. That's over 10,000 damage per second. Like that's pretty crazy, man. Like I was thinking like, where else could I use this? Like this isn't like super practical. It's really fun. It's not super practical. I was thinking like, could I use this like in Alliance War? Probably not. Could I use this in Incursions? Yeah, this could be used in Incursions. You could get 2-star, 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, 6-star Odin. Maybe not the 2-star unless there's some special way, but 3 to 6-star Odin. You could get all those Odins. You could have your teammate get all those Odins, and then you could just stack all those buffs on a Red Goblin, and it lasts forever. And then every heavy attack, you're going to be getting insane Incinerates. You pair that up with like buff Cornucopia. You pair that up with the buff hack that increases your attack by 4% for each buff that you have on you. And holy moly, man, that's getting pretty crazy. So at this point, I want to go ahead and get some Energize buffs because Iron Man's getting some passive power gain. This is the second time I was trying this fight with Red Goblin. The first time he got to his special 3 at the end, I'm like, ah, crap. So yeah, this time I'm gonna play it smart, and now on my heavy attacks, I'm also applying power drain debuffs. I forego the armor break to get the power drains, but we still are getting the Incinerates. But yeah, this way he just, he won't go to a special 3. And yeah, dude, Red Goblin absolutely destroying this fight, dude. It's pretty impressive, honestly. I was very impressed. And yeah, he's dead. We still had a ton of hits left as well for the abyssal charges. In total, it was 133 hits. That's pretty damn impressive, man. And again, if I had more Odins, we could have got more buffs. Could have got even crazier. So yeah, after this, I was like, I kind of want to do more. So the next fight was Invisible Woman in the Abyss. And I was like, okay, can Red Goblin take down Invisible Woman? She only has 2 million health, but that is extremely deceiving because she has her force field. Her force field it basically gives her, like, if I had to guess, more like 5 million health. Like it's crazy the amount of health that her force field contains, and it just keeps coming back so often in the fight. So it's really hard to outdamage all that. So going into this fight, this is my very first time fighting Invisible Woman for a Goblin. And how this fight works is you need to have a debuff on Invisible Woman, or you'll get stunned. And right there, she evades me, and I'm just, really? You're gonna evade the second part of my heavy, and then the power sting stun me? I'm just like, dude, oh, that's so infuriating when some BS like that happens. So God, that was frustrating. So right away, I'm like, okay, this sucks. Looks like I'm doing no damage. I'm like, okay, I think this is just a waste of time. She's still at 100%. Like, this is baloney. Like, what am I doing here? Should I just quit out? And then I was like, nah. I think, I don't know if I figured it out here, but I thought of a plan, a different kind of plan. So, against Iron Man Infinity War, I wanted to have the Fury to always keep an armor break on him so that I wouldn't get my power stolen. And that worked really well. But on this fight, it's, do I really want the Fury? Or should I go for the Energize to try to get to special 3s quicker, to kind of break the shield that way, to deal damage to her through special 3s, and just get that Energize going and loop back and still go for heavies. So something really weird going on here. I didn't realize it in the fight. Well, I was very confused in the fight. I was watching her shield, and I saw it would, like, get stronger, and I'm like, why is it getting stronger? Like, what is going on? But apparently, whenever you miss on Invisible Woman and her Awaken ability, she gains back 10% of her starting shield strength, or something to that effect. And another reason why I was going for Red Goblin special 3 is because after his special 3, he triggers Frenzy, I think it is, and he can't miss. You can see he bypasses her invisibility, which is another reason to cycle special 3s, so I just, wouldn't have to worry about that whole invisibility baloney. But I was still, like, missing. Like, missing was still triggering. So right here, watch, we hit her, and her shield goes from 10 to 19, 19 to, like, 27. My attacks are registering, but her shield is getting stronger because I'm missing, but I'm not missing. Like, so, like I said, in the fight, I was very confused. After figuring it out and watching it back, that seemed like baloney. It should be miss-failed because I'm not missing. So her force field shouldn't be getting stronger. So that seems like a bug to me. I don't think it should be interacting that way. I guess I'll let Kabam know about that. Because if that wasn't happening, because like that's the real problem here. I'm trying to get her shield down and then deal as much damage as possible in the short window that her shield is down, because that's when I can deal like actual damage to start actually taking down that 2 million health pool. So yeah, because if I didn't have to waste time with her shield to keep getting stronger, I would have been able to get a lot more actual damage on that 2 million on her actual health pool instead of just the force field. So I feel like I could have done a lot more damage in this fight. But as you can see, Red Goblin is still kind of doing it. I talked to MSD after, and he was saying that the Mr. Fantastic synergy would have been really good if I had it to increase debuff, damage over time debuff. I don't know if it's duration or just damage. But yeah, I didn't have him on the team. I had Magic and Heimdall on the team to grant a precision buff, just to give Red Goblin another buff to activate another Incinerate. But yeah, so this is kind of the strategy now. With those Energize, you know, we get to the special 3 pretty quick, and then I just go for a light attack to trigger more Energize and just keep the Energize going. I don't know, maybe I should have tried to go for Furies or Aptitudes into the Furies just for more damage sake, but I kind of like looping to the special 3. Like I said, I wanted to keep Frenzy up as much as possible, so I wouldn't have to worry about the invisibility, so I could keep debuffs up, and also to power drain her. Like you see, we're power draining her quite a bit, which is just nice because then I don't really have to bait specials. The less specials I have to bait, the more heavies I can just get active. And yeah, just more time I can spend having those Incinerates up, getting more Incinerates, and it's just kind of annoying baiting your special attacks as well, and it's just time consuming. So yeah, this was pretty much the rotation that I found. So yeah, when her shield was down right there, we got in quite a bit of damage, and her debuffs that she puts on me is just healing me as well from willpower. We've gotten it a couple times in this fight, but we're chilling at 94%, and we've gotten her down a quarter of the way now, and we are still barely on the first set of charges. But yeah, just the missed hits that keep reforming her shield, man, annoying. And like I said, in the fight I didn't realize that it was happening, so I kept hitting into her miss because I couldn't miss, you know, because we had Frenzy active. I didn't think there was a negative in doing that. So maybe if I did the fight again and I realized that I wouldn't do it quite as much, like you see. Yeah, I don't know, but we are still able to at least get her down decently. You know, she is pretty annoying in the Abyss. I think I sold her with Strife. I remember soling her with someone. I think it was Strife. Probably that dude's a beast. I've gotten her down in 1 revive with Nick Fury with my 5-star. I don't think it's possible to solo her with a 5-star, or at least anymore, or maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's possible now with new synergies, new pre-fights, new setups. But at the time when I was doing it, I don't think it was possible. Just a straight up raw Nick Fury. But yeah, so this is pretty much the loop, and it's, you know, it's working. We're hitting her with the the special 3 is actually pretty sick on Red Goblin. Like this whole video fight, getting the fights for this Red Goblin video, it made me like enjoy him more, which is cool, because I was so excited when I like found out about Red Goblin. Like I don't read the comics. I really just watch like the TV shows, the movies, that sort of thing. I watch like some YouTube videos on comics, but that's about it. I don't actually read comics typically. So when I first found out about Red Goblin, being such a big Spider-Man fan, like Spider-Man's my favorite. Spider-Man's like my favorite character in like anything, like, you know, anything. Put every single fictional character together and real characters. Like if I had to pick one, I'd pick it Spider-Man, dude. I love that guy. So when I found out that Carnage is my favorite villain, I'd say Carnage and Venom, but you know, Venom's not, he's more of an anti-villain. So like Carnage being my favorite villain, when I found out like Green Goblin gets Carnage symbiote and there's a character called Red Goblin, I was like, dude, that is so sick. Like as soon as I even found out about it, I'm like, they need to add that to MCOC. And then when I found out they finally were, I was so hyped. But then we got Cosmic Ghost Rider, and he just overshadowed him so much. And I think Red Goblin is cool, but I don't know. It's in his leaked abilities. I'm pretty sure there's like some regen or life steal or something to that effect, and there was just more other abilities as well in his like data mine leaked abilities. And I think it's just like, I think he just would have been too strong with all that. But oh, I wish we had him with those abilities, man. I really do. Ooh, oh, dude, he's just such a cool character. But yeah, as you can see, her shield was almost broken, and then I just strengthened it by the missed hits right there. So annoying. But yeah, finally we break the shield. I'm able to get in some pretty big damage. We got 69 abyss charges left. And the good thing about this whole play style with Red Goblin is that just doing like 2 hits heavy attack to get all that damage that he gets from just 2 hits, like that's really efficient for abyss charges. So you know it's really good in that regard as well. You want to conserve your abyss charges as much as possible on most abyss fights, so you don't run out and like essentially time out. So yeah, it's a pretty good way to get that damage in. And this rotation, I don't know if this was the best rotation or if another rotation would have been better, but it's working. You know, it is working. Like I said, this is the first time I did the fight. I didn't have any prior experience. I don't use Red Goblin that much either. Maybe in MSD's hands it would have he could have done more, or maybe if I tried a different play style, could have done more damage. Honestly, if I just knew about the whole invisible shield strengthening thing and how it actually works, I think I definitely could have done a lot more as well. But we are doing a decent amount, and we've already taken off 50%, which theoretically means that we could do this fight with 1 revive with this setup. And like I said, that's what I can do with McFury. So at the end of the day, not bad. This does require the 2 Odins and everything, so it's not super practical. I think having 1 Odin on any given team, pretty much anywhere, is perfectly practical. Because I've seen, I think it was Cam on Twitter saying, like, to keep in mind whenever you see any of these videos, you know, like ask yourself, is this practical? And I think that's perfectly fair to say. Having like 4 Odins on a team is not practical in 99% of scenarios. But 1 Odin, like anywhere, incursions, war, alliance quest, abyss, having just 1 Odin on a team, I think is perfectly practical. There's nothing wrong with that. So if you can really utilize those 3 buffs, only 3 of them, yeah, so I think Odin is very strong in that regard. I'm very interested to see if Kabam is going to change the way Odin works in any given way. Either in a couple ways. If they change the Hella synergy, I'm interested to see if they do that. I'm also watching. That's one of the main things I'm watching, and I'm also watching to see if they change the stack limit, like because currently. How Mr. Fantastic works, who's similar to Odin in his pre-fight abilities. You can't stack multiple Mr. Fantastic pre-fights. So, you know, like he has a Petrify, for example. Like you can't get 2 Mr. Fantastics and put 2 Petrifies on a fight. You go in, you don't have 2 Petrifies. Like it doesn't work that way. So it's kind of surprising that Odin does work that way, you know. So I'm interested to see, and that's how it's supposed to work. Like it's not a bug, like that's how it's supposed to work. But I'm interested to see if Kabam is going to opt to change that. And if they do, so that'd be a nerf. If they do that, they need to buff his actual solo capability. I think make him better as a champion. He's supposed to be the king of Asgard, man. But yeah, so at this point we've reached the end of the fight. There's actually no more that we can do. I'm trying to just stall a little bit, do a little bit more. I got off an extra L3, but yeah, I'm pretty dead at this point. I'm just getting stunned. But yeah, we took off a lot, man. We took off over 50% of her health in one go, which is no easy feat. 331 hits, like in actual damage output that we did with those 331 hits, it's probably like we sold Iron Man Infinity War in 133, and I think he has like 2 million health. So yeah, we probably did approximately like 5 million damage in that fight, like what we actually would have done, something like that, to that effect. That's a lot of damage. It's not bad. That's really not bad. So yeah, that's gonna be the Red Goblin gameplay for today. I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, shout out to MSD. His link will be in the description below to his YouTube channel. A really good dude, very good friend of mine. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, I'd appreciate you dropping a like. Let me know what other kind of Odin pre-fight abilities videos you guys want to see. If you have any suggestions, I'm very interested to hear them. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out.